If it's equal, and then the choice should be equal. And if his choice is done at the conception, her choice should be done at the conception. We want to make sure. See, exactly. It's always both their choice, only until conception happens, and then after that, it's only her choice. She gets to do whatever she wants to do. So we can say, but if it's both their choice at conception, then it should be both their choice throughout the rest of it, or it should be nobody's choice.
Hey, welcome back to Black Press. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to it. If once he drops off that gamete, we'll go biology term. Once he drops that gamete, it's no longer his choice. Once she brings that gamete inside of her home or body, why is it her choice?
You really trying to argue this?
I'm just asking the question. Why is it her choice?
Because it's her body that is giving the nutrients. It's her body that's giving her body. Her life is giving life. So without that, can you have a pregnancy without a woman? Have scientists been able to create a in utero effect to create a child?
No, but they
Yes.
also
No,
they've also not been able to create sperm either.
You have to have both, but you definitely have to have.
And you definitely have to have the first one too.
Yeah, but
what's the definitely? So what about choice? Like, so you're saying once he's made the choice, his choice is done. He doesn't have any more.
So the baby's born, and then you have to.
But what if the baby doesn't get born?
If the baby doesn't get born,
that's my so that's then he has to take responsibility.
He does, because it's something that.
But she gets to choose whether or not she's going to take responsibility.
No, because once the baby's born, both of you have responsibility.
No, but she chooses whether or not she is willing to have that responsibility.
No.
Her body, her choice. Yeah. So she chooses whether she wants to have that responsibility of a child. Okay. My point is, at which point or why does his choice stop at the dropping off of the groceries, but her choice of after receiving the groceries, she still is the sole proprietor of making the choice.
They should make men carry babies so they can figure out why so they can figure out why does she get to carry the baby to term? You want to get Would you like to have a uterus to carry?
What I'm saying is, if it's equal rights, if it's equal, and then the choice should be equal. And if his choice is done at the conception, her choice should be done at the conception, unless there are complications.
So you feel like men should have a choice if the female has the child or not?
Yes. And if they should have a choice if the female has a child or not, because they don't have a choice whether or not they're going to pay child support. Why does the female get an extra choice?
Because it's her body that is carrying that child.
Right, but it's his finances that are going to be pulled for the rest of that child's life.
So when you're when you're a female and you're carrying that child, most of your time, energy, and everything is spent in making that child.
Yes.
You have to go to doctor's appointments. Half the time, the the male carrier doesn't even come to the doctor's appointments. You have to go to doctor's appointments. You have to make sure you stay hydrated. You have to make sure you're eating the right things.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you get enough rest.
At
It's
what
a job.
At what point did she make that choice whether or not she wanted to do that?
Sometimes it's not always a choice.
What makes it not a choice?
When you went all the way too far in the pregnancy.
Right.
It should be up to a certain point. It's not a choice. You can't be like
Up to a certain point, it's not a choice. So are we saying? But we're discussing the point of the choice.
Mhm.
So I want to talk about the choice,
Mhm.
not when you can't make a choice anymore. At what point does she have to make the choice of whether or not she wants to do everything after the baby comes?
Women have to have the choice because they do most of the work of
Right.
making the child.
So
All men do is shoot out their body, and then boom, they create a new human being. With that responsibility comes the knowledge that, okay, I've created this child, so yes, I'm financially responsible for that child and the well-being of the child, and sometimes the child and the mother. Now, when it comes to choices, and a female is presented with the choice of whether or not to carry the child, sometimes they decide, okay, I'm not going to do this by myself. I know he's not going to be a father to my child. It's going to be me by myself. Most people in those cases terminate the pregnancy, or they may terminate it because health issues, or they may terminate it because they were forced to have that child. It's so many different reasons why a woman would terminate.
Just by family?
By family, by rape, incest, things of that nature.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about when she literally chooses to lay down and have a child. That's what you have to this is what gets me.
Mm-hmm.
We choose when and when not to decide that a woman is fully capable of doing anything that she could imagine doing.
So when two people lay down to create a child, it's not just about
when we talk about how awesome women are, we say women can do anything. But when we talk about creating a child, it is always two people. Mm-hmm. But that's not the case because two people are there at that moment, but everything else past that is just the woman. It's her decision, right? It's her choice. She gets to make all the decisions, but she doesn't have to hold up to the fact that the main first decision was her choice. We want to make sure. See, exactly. It's always both their choice, only until conception happens, and then after that, it's only her choice. She gets to do whatever she wants to do. So we can say, but if it's both their choice at conception, then it should be both their choice throughout the rest of it, or it should be nobody's choice.